Later.
Excellent. We'll make sure we see her before we leave here. And are the beings standing there in front of you, or what do they look like?
They're changing their size. Like almost the thing that comes to mind is the superhero that can make himself really tall or really short.
And when you first saw them, were they really tall?
They were very tall.
Very tall. And so have they shrunken down for you?
They came down to my level.
Very good. And ask them, are they here to answer Hank's questions?
Or here to provide direction.
Very good. Very, very good. And ask them, are they of the most purest and unconditionally loving intent?
They are.
Very good. And if they had any messages just right off that they would like to share for Hank, they know he has a lot, and he's been just whatever message before I ask questions.
They both say not to worry.
Very good.
You're headed in the right direction. Small stumbling blocks, but nothing that you can't handle.
And those stumbling blocks, are they in the way of unemployment, or?
Well, they didn't say. It literally looked like little blocks.
Oh, totally understood.
That they just threw down at my feet.
Okay. And
one's got a B on it, the letter B. The other has the letter H.
Interesting. Can you ask them, what does the B stand for, please?
Not get anything.
Very good. Well, before we go, I guess I want to get to just introduce themselves. Ask them, could they introduce themselves? They're always in all my sessions, and I pretty much always say, I'm going to get back to them. I'm going to get back to them.
Yes, but their names are not like we name things. It's coming through as more of a sound, like tones.
Understood.
Like musical notes.
And
that changes when they get taller.
Oh, so are they growing again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what made them grow? Why did they grow again?
They were getting back to their normal state to share their name.
Very good. Understood. Okay. And they seem to always be around me, or I've been told that they're around me all the time. Can they elaborate who they are, and why me?
They are not. They're not from this plane. They are. They never lived human life. They are, but they've been with you through different lives on this planet. And they have they've always been with you, and at least one of them is, I'm getting attached to you at all times.
Oh, very good. And what is our connection? Are they my higher self? Or, I mean, but there's two of them.
One is a higher self. That's the one that's always connected. The other is they're using some word that I don't understand, but it's a guide.
You didn't understand the word. Could you pronounce the word?
Now again, it comes through as a tone that I just know what it means.
And what does it mean then?
It means guide.
Okay.
One is your higher self, and the other is that supreme guide, is what it says.
Oh, very good. And how am I alike with those entities?
You possess part of the same spark. You came from the same place.
And
the choice, you made different choices. There was, the guide chose to not inhabit a body, but to stay in its original form. And you chose to come down here.
Oh, very good. And the two light entities, I'll just ask this. I was told that I had two guides. One was masculine and one was feminine. And one was, they gave names before. Do they know who I'm talking about? I mean, my highest self should. I'm thinking of that name now. Well, I'll just ask this. Who is Isabel and Augustine? And how does those two relate to?
Isabel is your high self.
And is she one of the two entities there?
Yes.
And she's the one that's connected to me at all times?
Yes.
And would Augustine be the other?
Kitchen door.
Nodding yes. But I'm having a hard time understanding.
Okay. And I spoke to Isabel earlier today, and I asked her, and I told her, could she connect with Dane's higher self? And Tarita said that I was a creator. And I believe I was, I guess, helping create the earth, or what did he mean by that? Please.
As the earth was formed, there were everything was coming together, and you assisted in directing, like topography is what's coming to mind. The topography of the earth, where to put the land, and
so
the height of mountains, and
And I was told that those entities were the original light, or does original light mean one of the original creators of the earth?
Original light means the original creator of all things.
Oh, very good. For which we are all one.
Correct.
Very good. And the aeon, I was told in the session that I was also an aeon. Can you elaborate on that if you would, please? And when they... Is that just another adjective to describe the original light?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That it was a word used to describe the spark.
Understood. And so after we created the earth, after the earth was finished, did I come to the planet when it was completed in a physical manifestation?
Yes.
And what time linear time frame would that have been?
Millions.
And what form did I come in?
You were a female.
So I literally, okay.
That was the body you chose. The first body.
And now when it says in the first body, was there a civilization on the planet at that time?
Very small. Very small, and more creatures than humans.
But I was in human form.
Yes, yes.
And what was my purpose in that particular incarnation?
You helped give rise to a race of people.
In which area of the planet?
It's very, I'm going to say, Asia.
Oh, very good. And so before we created the Earth, and I worked on the topography here, where was I before any of my incarnations here? I was told I was from a place where there was a bunch of pyramids on a moon in another session. Could you elaborate on that, please? Isabella?
Very far from this planet. Pyramids of different colors. Very large planet.
What was who built those pyramids on that planet? I'm just curious right now.
There was a race there, and you helped them.
I helped there as well?
Yes.
Was it a hominoid?
Yes.
And what was you say I helped in which form? Did I come in a form, or was I consciousness? How did I manifest there? Oh, you said a hominoid. Did I have a body?
Yeah.
And was it similar to anything on Earth?
No.
I I was told at one point, a gentleman told me that I was green and really, really tall.
And very thin.
Was that while I was on
Yeah.
that? And one of the sessions, the gentleman said that I brought him here. He was my tree cutter. And he said he saw me in the ship. Is that the same personality from the place with the pyramid?
I see you holding hands.
I'm holding hands with
Yes.
Rudy. And in what capacity was Rudy a small child? Do you see him as a child?
It must be because you're much taller.
Oh, very good. Very good. But I'm really tall. And what did Rudy look like, or what did the entity that is?
Very small version of you.
Was he my
Very small.
offspring?
Yes.
So Rudy was were we male and female on that? Obviously. Well, I was male or female?
It's not the same like it is here.
Oh, very good. And so, was it androgynous, or could it reproduce singularly?
Yes.
And how was that process done? Was it done energetically or physically?
The energy caused the entity to reproduce.
Oh, very good. And so,
It started in the mind.
oh, amazing, amazing, amazing. So this ties up a lot for me. So, at one point, did I send Rudy to the earth? That was before this in this incarnation here, because he said this is the first time he's been to this planet. He said I sent him here.
You called him here.
Ah, I called him here. Okay, and so did I do that in a dream state, or in my higher self called him here?
Higher self.
My higher self called him here, and he came because he was my.
He heard the call.
He heard the call, and there are several people who've been telling me that. What was that call? Why? I mean, I guess did I make the call? Or that,
Yes.
What was that call that I made?
It was time for him to experience what it's like down here.
Very good. And so that's exactly what he said. Okay, so that ties that up for me. And so how did I end up coming to the earth to help form the topography? How did that come about? Was my guide there with me as we planned it?
You left the body on the planet with the pyramid and traveled through. I'm seeing galaxies and galaxies and stars
And what brought me to? Was it from a directive from Prime Creator?
it was an offer,
And
you chose.
very good, because I've had experience helping
Yes.
put civilizations and planets together.
Yes.
Oh, very good. And so, one of the first sessions I ever did, the gentleman said that I was a conduit for the energy from, and where would that be, from source or from where, or from?
Energy from source comes from everywhere.
Understood.
Your specific energy comes from that place with the pyramid. It's almost like you're in two places at once. Like a beacon
And so the beacon is on the planet with the pyramids or here?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and it travels a long distance.
And this is me. This is Hank.
Yes.
So, in a session that I had done, the gentleman said that I had come to the planet, to Earth. Now I'm here after leaving the planet with the pyramids. There's a gentleman, his name is Nate. He said he was from the planet with the pyramids as well. He went to MIT. Are you familiar with that entity? He went to MIT. Are you familiar with that entity? That personality?
Searching.
We did a quantum healing hypnosis sessions, and Rails was the name of his higher self.
I have it.
Oh, very good. What can you tell me about my connection with Nate from the planet with the pyramids before we come back to?
He's a very, very relaxed entity. But in my mind, I see him kind of lounging with his feet up. But he's very tall and skinny.
He's tall and skinny in his physical incarnation here and now. And what would him with his feet up represent? And him being so relaxed or laid back?
He has knowledge. Untapped knowledge. But it lives within him and affects him now.
I know he's been having a hard time. He said that from his upbringing that his heart.
He struggles still.
Yeah, we got into it.
Yeah. He does desire to be free of it. And he's still under an old paradigm. He's struggling.
He
didn't pass it.
Oh, very good. Is there anything, righty, that makes big sense to me? So back here to the planet Earth, and the last time Dane and I did a session, he said that there were a collective of energy entities that were parked outside of the house in the sky. Is this correct?
Yes.
And I always see them in the colors. What are those colors that I see? The green and the yellow and the red sometimes. What do those colors represent?
It's a signal to show you
that they're there.
Yeah. To reveal themselves.
And am I supposed to have any type of interaction with them at all?
Not yet. Not yet. They're observing. And
that's another reason. That was another question. They're observing the relationship that I had with Eddie.
Yes.
What's observable about that, or what's the interest in that? Why is it fascinating to them?
Eddie's healing something, and you're helping, and that's what they're watching. Okay. He's healing, and you're helping, and they're looking, they can see the energy transfer
between us two.
Yeah, and that drew them in. They were in the area, and it was like a beacon for them.
And Isabel, can you elaborate, please, on what we're healing? Is he doing the healing and I'm fortifying with the energy, or we're doing the healing together? Or if you would, please.
It's a very difficult to explain.
Understood.
Very exchange of energy, and which creates
a tidal wave or a pulse, or
it's a pulse. It's a pulse of light.
And so if that means his energy and my energy combined does that?
Yes.
And have we done that before on this planet?
No.
And so I was told in a session that, actually in the session that I did with Dane, that we've been together in the past 3 times, from the very first time and the last 2 times.
This exchange is different.
Oh, very good. And so could you please elaborate on Eddie's relationship with myself, please?
This is more of a fulfillment of contract and a completion of it's coming to me as completion of merging, like you're going to completely merge in this lifetime and become one entity after.
And you're saying that with myself and Eddie?
Yes.
We're merging to become one. So were we ever one before and illusionally separated or something?
No. Two forms of energy, compatible energy. I keep getting the yin yang symbol. There's and it's spinning really fast, and the energies came together over several lifetimes, and this is the completion.
Would you say that he is my twin flame or something then? That's the adjective they use. I'm not sure what that means.
He is a twin.
Is he my twin?
He is yes, you have many.
Oh, I have many.
Yes.
Is Sophia Torres one of the flames in my life? Any other flames physically incarnated in our linear time frame?
That's not being given to me.
Oh, very good. So, but Eddie is for sure.
Yes.
And what is our purpose? What was the contract that we made? Could that be relinquished, or any part of it at all?
More work to do first.
Oh, very good. Before we can get to the crux of it. And so these entities, they're out there, and is it a collective of entities that are in the colors that I see? It looks like we call them UFOs. Is it a collective?
It is 4 separate energies, and yeah, they're from another place. They're observing the transfer of energy between you.
And how was that transfer of energy helping on the planet Earth? Or is it helping?
I'm not getting anything.
Oh, very good. So, I mean, they're out there all the time, pretty much every night. Or is at one point will they just leave and we won't see them anymore? Or
They have a mission.
okay, very good.
They
So,
have a mission.
does Eddie and I have a mission here on the planet at this time?
Yes, as everyone.
Very good. And that's one of the reasons why Hank had a desire for Dane to do this quantum healing hypnosis therapy session for him. What would you say Hank's purpose is? And if Isabel could elaborate as much as possible, and the guide, I would be very grateful.
I'm getting a catalyst, to be a catalyst, to begin awareness, to spread the word, to...
And I'm spreading the word of
the higher self.
The word about our higher self? That
Yeah. And wow, I'm just getting like sparks and fireworks.
Is that a celebration?
Yeah.
And what's going to be what's the celebration? Full consciousness?
Yeah, awareness and...
Oh, we're going to ascend.
Yeah.
Has Hank ascended already?
He is ascending.
And is Eddie ascending as well?
He is.
Very good. And are there a lot of people around Hank that are ascending as well?
Yes, at different rates.
Is Dane ascending in the moment?
Absolutely.
Very good.